Hi, my name is Lorena. I'm a spiritual life coach and a breathwork teacher, and I'm primarily focused on Neville Goddard's teachings. And I'm here to help you shift your state of being and recreate your reality. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, you can find information for that in the description box below. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload videos every Friday. Today's topic is really just to give you a little bit of faith. Especially if you're doubtful, and to really remind you why you don't need to worry so much and why you don't need to stress yourself out so much. If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, or you've been following me on other social media platforms, you know that I like to take a really holistic and embodied approach to these teachings, where you're not bypassing any emotions, you're not solely focused on the mind, you're bringing it back into the body. So you can bring your whole authentic self to this, and you don't need to stress about what you might be doing right or what you might be doing wrong. And to tell you right from the start, there is nothing that you can really do wrong. Your desires are your destiny. So what I see very often in clients, and you may resonate with this, is that they want to believe really badly. They want something, they get a desire, and they want to believe it's possible for them. But there's a part of them that doubts. And what then often happens is that they go back and forth. One day you believe in the possibility of your desire, and the next day you're doubting everything. That's why I want to tell you your desires are unavoidable. You can delay them, but you can't avoid them. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I believe that with my whole heart, why I've seen that over and over and over again, both in my personal life, but also in my clients' experiences and journeys. And I'm going to give you a few examples that really outline this. So when I say your desires are your destiny, the first thing that often comes up is, what do you mean destiny? Is destiny a thing? Don't we have free will? And personally, I believe both are true at the same time. I believe that your desires are your destiny. They are a gift that you receive. They are something that you are meant to experience. They are sacred. They are given to you in this lifetime so that you can have them, so that you can experience them. They are not here to punish you. They are not here to make you suffer from lack or self-doubt or unworthiness. And of course, it is completely on you whether you accept your desire as the gift that is given to you, and whether you are grateful for it, thereby calling it in, allowing yourself to experience it, or whether you keep questioning it, thereby delaying it. But here is something that should make you feel good about the whole process. Regardless of how many mistakes you've made, or how often you've questioned the possibility of your desire, how often you've gone back and forth, how often you waver or react, if this is a deep-rooted desire of yours, and if it is, you feel it in your soul, then you cannot avoid it. It will show up for you over and over and over again until you are ready to accept it, until you are ready to receive it. Maybe you've had this experience that you had a desire and you moved on from it because you thought it wasn't possible, or there were too many perceived obstacles in the way. And then later on, the same desire just returns, either actually in physical form, or you just cannot stop thinking about it no matter how hard you try. There have been so many times in my life where I didn't accept a desire as mine, where I tried to move on from it, where I maybe delayed it through self-doubt, or where I maybe made the wrong decision, which led me further away from my desire, only for this desire to show up again at a later point, for the opportunity to experience it to show up again at a later point, or for the desire itself within me showing up again and again. So I could have the opportunity to step into that state of being all over again. No matter how far I went away from my desire, it would always come back around. It would always circle back around. Just like I said, like I couldn't avoid it, like it was my true destiny. So a few examples that I have here is one of them I spoke about in my video about how to persist in an assumption in order to manifest your desires and what persistence truly means. And that's where I told a success story of mine of how I manifested my dream job. And that took time, and it only took time because I ran from it. I initially ran from it. I accepted a rejection that I had received, and I just took a break from it. But because it was a true desire of mine, and me going away from that desire and accepting the perceived loss, accepting the situation as it was, accepting the circumstances, accepting the rejection that I had received for that job, that helped me to drop the resistance. But deep down, the desire hadn't gone away. And that's why it came back. It showed up again completely naturally. I didn't have to do anything for it. It just showed up again because it was meant for me, because it was a desire that I felt in my soul. It was a burning desire. It was not something that I had to force. Something very similar happened when I left Edinburgh, which is the city where I live now. And I moved away from Edinburgh because I couldn't find a job here. And at the time, I decided to move to London instead, which is something that I really didn't want to do. But I had accepted the fact that I had to leave Edinburgh. I had made peace with that. I didn't have any resistance towards leaving the city, although it made me sad and I grieved having to leave. And the whole time, whilst I was in London, the thought of Edinburgh didn't leave me because it was such a deep-rooted desire of mine. So what happened? I had eventually, after 10 or 11 months, I eventually had the courage to quit my job in London and to move back to Edinburgh. And I didn't have any prospects for a job or a place to live up in Edinburgh, but I felt it in the depths of my soul that I needed to go back. So what happened? I went back without a plan, and within days of me returning, everything fell into place. I got the ideal job for me. I found a place to live, and it happened so fast and so perfectly because it was meant for me. And that's what happens when you're operating from a true soul desire. It just falls into place. Now you may wonder, what if the desire that I have isn't a true soul desire? What if it's coming from my ego? Or what if this isn't meant for me? Let me tell you, if you have any desire, it is meant for you. It is meant for you. Your desire will be your destiny. It is meant for you. Don't question whatever you want. The worst thing that could happen if this wasn't a true soul desire is that eventually you'll get it and your desire will change. And you'll realize that maybe what you wanted was whatever that desire represented for you and not the thing itself. There is nothing to lose. And there is also nothing to lose by surrendering and by accepting the circumstances as they are, because it will return to you. If there is something that you have struggled to give up, then there is a reason for it, because you're not supposed to give up. If the only thing that is holding you back are fear or self-doubt or a lack of self-worth, then that doesn't mean this isn't for you. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve what you want. It doesn't mean that it's not possible. All it gives you is an opportunity for you to recognize where you don't feel worthy. It's an opportunity for you to recognize which beliefs to shift and change. It is an opportunity for you to sit with the fears that you have and to face them head on, to integrate and process your emotions so they lose their power over you, and so you can persist in the state of being where your desire is already a reality. So what should you do? The simple short answer is trust. And I know this is easier said than done, but your desire will show up in the easiest and most effortless way and at the perfect time when you are surrendered. When you are not stressing about the when or how or if, not when you are resisting or pressuring or questioning. There is no need to control, there is no need to micromanage, there is no need to overthink everything and overanalyze everything. There is no need to look into the future. Just be present now, hold the vision for whatever you want, and feel the reality of it now. This doesn't need to be all the time. You can still live your life, you can still accept the way things are. In fact, you're supposed to, but you don't need to do anything except know what you want and feel it as real. Feel the reality of it. You can make mistakes. You don't need to be consistent. You don't need to work really hard for it. There is nothing to do. You can even let go, forget about it. Whatever people may tell you not to do, you can do that, because if it's a true soul desire of yours, you cannot avoid it. You can only delay it. And the amazing thing is that you don't even have to consciously know what exactly you want. If you're not really sure whether whatever desire you have on your mind right now is a true desire of yours or not, just wait. Because if it is meant for you, it will show up again. Don't judge anything, just observe it, just accept it as a gift. Trust that every step of the path that you're on right now is part of the bridge of incidents. Whenever the time comes that your desire comes into fruition, comes into existence, you will look back and you will think, I am so grateful that it happened in exactly this way, and it couldn't have happened any other way. Even with the things that I manifested consciously that I initially delayed or that I initially ran away from, I am now grateful even for those mistakes. I am now grateful that I did the things that brought me further away from my desires, because I am so thankful that they showed up exactly at the time they did in exactly the way they did, because it was absolutely perfect. So don't forget that your deepest desires are a promise, they are a gift, they are meant for you. Your desires are your destiny. Please leave me a comment below and share your experience. I would really love to know if there is something that you keep coming back to, that keeps showing up for you over and over again, and that you somehow can't fully let go, so you know it's yours to experience. And next week we will talk about what to do when your manifestation fails, or when it doesn't show up in the way you wanted it to. Let's say, for example, you receive a partial manifestation. And of course, if you haven't already, click the little subscribe button. I love you very much, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.